Hi everybody, welcome to Gunpla TV.
Hey guys.
Brought to you by HobbyLink Japan. We're back in the studio and this is episode...
It's been a while.
Yes, it has. This is episode 163.
163.
And as you said, it has been a while because, well, we had the Christmas and New Year's break.
Yes.
And then we had the Unicorn and the RG wing, which we built in front of the camera instead of showing you our faces. And we also had some help, some substitute
Yes, Lindsay and Anna.
people who were in here as well. So now we're kind of back to like normal, real normal.
The regular guys just hanging out, chilling.
Hanging out, talking.
Chilling on a Saturday.
2015. We're hitting
Merry
2015.
New Year's.
Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy 2015.
Yeah, may it be prosperous.
Maybe prosperous. Do you know, people may not know it out there, but for me, because of my age, this is supposed to be my super bad lucky year.
I heard it was meant to be a good lucky year.
Well, no, it might be for you, but because we're different ages, if you were born the year I was born, you got to watch out. You got to go to the shrine and get somebody to pray for you and pick up some charm that prevents bad luck from happening. Because, oh man, it's all crashing down for me.
I heard it's the rolling the money year, but anyway.
Maybe you got a different fortune than I do. Okay, so Ryan, what are we going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about Star Wars.
Okay.
And we will go into that later.
We'll go into that later. We will.
Syd?
Well, I've got the master grade Astray blue frame D. I've done that. We're going to talk about this in detail, and I'm going to show you kind of what to do with all these blades. These are cool. And we're going to bring this guy back on the show.
The Unicorn. The
Unicorn. Now, we built it and then on front of the camera, and we LED'd it up in front of the camera. But now I decided I wanted to show everybody kind of what Bandai's done with this kit when it comes to undergating. Because I showed myself cutting undergates off of parts during that build, a lot of them. And I wanted to show like how that works when you actually put it together and gate placement and how Bandai has presented this kit to everybody. So I actually went ahead and I painted all the parts on the runner and then cut them off.
This is why Syd is a Gundam master.
Yeah, if the
above and beyond.
If the undergating is any good, then you should be able to paint on the runner and have a good result. So that was my test. This is my test here. So we'll talk about this in detail, and we can also talk about some other Gundams like what just came in today.
Yes, and there were some new announcements as well.
You want to talk about the new announcements?
Yeah, let's do that first.
We can do that. Okay, Ryan was right. These just went up on our website, so we can talk about them now.
Hot
off the press. Speaking of hot, this thing's on fire, Ryan. This is the Wing Gundam Zero Hono, or Hono. The kanji in Japanese means flame, so it could be the Wing Gundam Zero Flame, but Hono seems to be what everybody calls it. It's just a variation of the Wing Gundam for the Gundam built fighters, but I gotta say it looks kind of badass with that flames.
Kind of organic shapes in there.
We also have from I think Reconquista, we have the G Lucifer,
which is pretty
it's
cool.
Looking quite stylish there. The Reconquista designs are very unique, and I'm liking them the more I see them. We also have the Gundam Double X. This is the MG that's due out in March.
Yes.
We saw this at the Gunpla Expo.
Yes.
Now the Gundam X came out, I believe, last January, over a year ago. So now those people who have been waiting, we are getting the Double X. So there you go. We also have the V-Gundam in HGBC. This did come out as a version called MG, but that was like 3-4 years ago now. So we're finally getting our hands on the HG version of it. Star Wars. We're going to talk a bit about Star Wars in the show today. They've just given us the list for what's coming out over the next couple months. So in February, we get a 1/48 scale ATST.
Yeah, I'm excited to build that. And I'll talk about what I built recently.
All-terrain scout transport. And this is my favorite of the ground vehicles in Star Wars. I like it more than the AT-AT.
Really?
Yeah, I do. With the way the head swivels around. Chewie piloted it. Come on. Okay, 1/72nd TIE Fighter. Now we had the X1 Advance, which was Darth Vader's. So this is just the normal TIE Fighter.
Was it the previous episode or 2 episodes ago that Scott spoke about he's building
experience? Yeah, when he was building the fine molds, he showed that one, yeah. And another one I'm really excited about.
R2-D2?
1/12 scale R2-D2 and the R5-D4. These were the two droids.
Is that the guy who blows up?
They were sold by the Jawas together, remember?
Yeah.
So he just kind of zonks out a little bit, and Luke kind of goes crazy on the Jawa for selling a piece of crap, or was it Uncle Owen? One of those two. Yeah, so
I'm sure we'll be watching everything soon.
There's probably a little bit of sticker work to be done on the two droids, but I'm sure it's going to be a really fun build. And of course, you'll probably be able to like rotate the heads, and maybe there's some parts that you can swap, like the arms for R2 and stuff like that.
And if it's anything like the Bandai's given us so far, this should be really good.
It should be really good. You know, when I had the original action figures from 1977. They had a gimmick in there that when you would turn the head, something would click. Like, you know, spokes on your bike wheel would run up against something. So you would spin R2-D2's head and it'd go click, 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 click. And the same with R5-D4.
Did it go beep, 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 beep?
No, you had to buy a really expensive one for that. But I'm not sure if Bandai is going to be going that route in their design. But, you know, we won't know until March. So, okay, so that's what's coming out next,
Very exciting.
next 2 months.
Yeah, it's actually quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, we saw that stuff at the Gunpla Expo and stuff was rumored to be coming, and now we can get our hands on it.
I bet you people are going to ask us, when's the next PG coming?
Ooh, at least a year. At least a
or
year.
more. 5 years.
Now, speaking of stuff going up on our site, when we put these kits I'm going to show in a second on our site, Bandai was really, really secretive of what they were, and we had to put them on the site as tentative name. And then when Bandai finally clued us into what they were, we were able to actually put up the Gundam Amazing Red Warrior and the Kurenai weapon, the red crimson weapon set. So these just came out today.
Wow.
And now everybody's still got their, you know, PG Unicorn RG Wing hangover because of the holidays. But now, sorry I bumped the table. Now
this table is super.
2015 is kicking off.
Oh,
this is the first releases for 2015, and you know, at the end of the month we have the second RE kit, right?
Yep.
So the ball is starting to roll. Gunpla's starting to come our way. So for those people who are still haven't gotten through their wings or their PG Unicorns, well, you have you know, a few weeks. Get it going, and then you'll be ready for the wave of MGs coming. So you want to take that?
Yep.
Now, Ryan, you're eager to talk about Star Wars? You got some Star Wars stuff to show?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let me just get set up.
Okay.
We can have a chat.
Sounds good.
Okay. I put together a kit of a Stormtrooper, and I'm wondering, can you guess which one?
I'm not allowed to say because I already know, but...
Okay, well, I guess you've made your guesses by now. Well, it's this one here.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple of hours, and you know what? I am blown away.
Yeah.
By how good this guy looks for
I
the
must
price you
say,
pay.
like, when you brought it in this morning and I saw that shiny plastic Stormtrooper there, I was thrown back to when I was a little kid watching the movies, and in the movies they shine, right?
Yeah.
They have that shine with the lights from the Death Star shining off them, and that's kind of what you see when you're looking at the Bandai kit.
And you know, I didn't need to clean, or I think I cleaned 1 or 2 nub marks.
Yeah.
I don't know what Bandai's doing to their plastic, but it is so easy to get stuff off the runner these days.
Yeah.
And yes, I had a great time building this guy. He comes with like 3 weapons: this big blaster, a baby blaster,
Yeah.
and then a baby handgun blaster with the scope for some reason.
Okay.
He also comes with stickers, water decals as well.
Yeah, they give you the option: stickers and water slides. They're both the same.
Yeah. I put some on his helmet, but you know, the detailing is so fantastic on this Bandai kit that I felt like you don't actually need to go crazy at all. So, yeah, 1,900 yen, $17 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get it. Don't even think about it. Yeah. That's
you know,
amazing.
I can't wait for them to do Boba Fett. I just want to say, we know the R2-D2 and the R5-D4 are coming.
Boba Fett.
We know C-3PO is coming. We saw it at the model show. But can you imagine when they do Boba Fett? Boba Fett?
I'm done. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. I mean,
I'll buy 3.
I'll buy 3.
Okay.
So
what else do you got there then after your...
This is the Kyoto
Oh yeah, the Revoltex.
Revoltex.
Yeah.
So, okay, look. The Bandai kit, I'll bring him back on. I mean, he has limited movement. You can move his arms up and down and his legs.
Yeah.
I won't move him now. But of course, the Revoltech, you can go like totally crazy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just lost his foot.
Oh, they have so many joints.
Yeah.
Revoltech do.
Yeah, I mean, he will get down on his knees. You know,
being force choked.
You know, you could give him an electric guitar and he'd be rocking out. It's like, yeah, metal. So yeah, so you know, as this is a toy, like you can really position him. He can do some crazy, what's the words?
Movement.
You
You can play with them.
Yeah, you can really play with him. This guy just looks awesome, but he is reasonably static.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you can get some upper body movement,
yeah.
and it's pretty cool. This guy can go totally nuts though. Like he's like totally bending back.
Yeah.
It's like, ladies. Yeah.
Aren't you a little cool to be a Stormtrooper?
Yeah. He's like the rock god Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
We also have the Revoltech Kyoto Darth Vader here.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, this Darth, can I call you Darth? Is that okay? We know you killed a bunch of children. It's very disappointing.
I don't feel comfortably on a first name basis with you.
Isn't there some UNO court you should be appearing in front of? But anyway, you're with us today. The thing I particularly like about this kit is the cloak.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do crazy stuff with this cloak. I'm not going to go. I mean, as people know, I'm not the biggest toy guy, so I'm not going to insult this figure. But just with the other guy, like his ability to move. I mean, he can do total rock guard as well. I don't know how it's looking on camera there, but yeah.
Looks like he's yeah, it looks alright.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it looks alright. Looks like he might be doing a little suggestive stuff with his...
he lost his head!
Oh, yeah. He's more machine than man now. We have technical difficulties right by your foot.
Just cut that.
No, it's okay. Like,
is that okay?
The thing is, it's not... When you see that, it's not broken. Like the way that they design the joints on the Robotech is that they're like 2 parts swivel joint, and you can like pop them out. And in some kits, you actually replace parts that way.
Yeah.
So
no. I mean, it pops back seamlessly.
Yeah.
But yes, you can pose this guy. If you look at the box, he does some crazy like Jedi. I mean, I'm like, did Anakin do this in the movies?
Yeah. Did Darth move more than a couple inches when he wasn't whacking away at Luke's arm?
These 2 guys are like rockers.
That's right.
Yeah. Crossing streams.
It's Nirvana.
Don't do it.
Yeah. There's the bass player.
Yeah. All right. But yes, yeah, it's Star Wars time, people.
That's right. 2015.
Yeah.
They've already called this like the year of Star Wars.
Yeah. So Syd,
that
was my experience with the Kyoto and the Bandai kit.
Yeah.
Very excited. I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Of course.
Give me all the Star Wars you can. I'm ready for it. And 2015, end of the year.
So you're ready? You want all? Hold on. You want all the Star Wars you can get your hands on? Is that what you're saying? So when they release the 1/12 Jar Jar, you're gonna be first in line.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So
who is this Jar Jar you speak of? I think I've forgotten about it. But yes, I will say I have fears about Disney. But I'm a huge fan even of the animated Star Wars stuff.
Okay, well let's talk about the trailer then. We saw the trailer finally in Japan. Yeah.
Well, we saw the proper trailer. The Japanese trailer was weird.
Japanese trailer is just, what is it? The Millennium Falcon doing the loop,
and
the girl hopping on the bike, and the sword. So let's talk about the real trailer, not the Japanese version. What do you think?
I'm excited. I love seeing the Falcon. I built that huge fine mold Falcon, so. I know a lot of people were complaining about that lightsaber, like you could chop off your fingers or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. Give me crazy lightsabers, I'm game. But yeah, there's so much that can go wrong these days with
here's
movies.
my thinking when I saw the trailer. They did the opening shot of like Tatooine, and okay, they're giving you that feeling that you got when you watch the original Star Wars. I can be down with that. I was, the rolling droid, I don't know. But it wasn't until like that Millennium Falcon did that loop. And when it did the loop, I wet myself. I was like, yes, like this is what I want to see. Like, just
give me a Falcon.
Give me an hour and 30 minutes of that kind of thing. And when the lightsaber, my thinking is like, what the lightsaber represents. Why do you feel you need to add something to it every time you show it? Like the first batch of movies, there was one type of lightsaber. Yeah. Then the second batch of movies, which took place before, there's a different kind of lightsaber.
Well, in the animated stuff as well, like every person has a fancy ass lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yes, I can understand. As a purist, Syd as the purist. One other scene I enjoyed was the X-wings flying over the water. Yeah. That was cool.
That was alright. I didn't mind that.
But I was burnt with The Hobbit.
Yeah, speaking of movies, Ryan, I finally saw The Hobbit.
The Fifth Army, the Sixth
Army? Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah.
4 days ago, 5 days ago. Let's talk about that after, okay? During like the questions
that is
section.
my fear is, they got a great intellectual property with Star Wars. What are they going to do with it? Is it a cash cow? Is it going to become like Marvel, where it's like, eventually like, I don't care anymore.
Well, we're going to talk about it right now then. Here's what I think with The Hobbit. you do, Peter Jackson does one movie, which is amazing, The Fellowship of the Ring, which kind of totally captures you the same way Star Wars does. And you're totally in that world now. And the second movie and the third movie, there's little things that kind of bother you about it. And, the first Hobbit and then the second one in that series, there's little things that kind of bother you. It could have been better. Maybe he went a little overboard in some scenes, like going down the river. But there was always the promise of something else coming along that could kind of fix that. But then we got to the Battle of Five Armies. And it must have been the director thinking like, you know, I don't have to do another one of these movies, so I don't have to give a crap. So I'm just gonna throw everything at it and just let it go, kind of thing. And it's the worst of the 6.
Yeah,
it's terribly bad.
You know, it's not The Hobbit, and people who haven't read the book say the movie's good. Ish.
This is where it's trouble for me because, like,
okay, the she-elf. Okay, that was the biggest problem for me with the whole movie when she's crying at the end, and I'm like,
because she met that guy who's a criminal, but then he escaped and or he got out.
I'm like, who are you?
He must be good.
What's Legolas doing there? Like, Legolas, what are you doing? Get a day job, mate. Like, yeah, there was just so much head scratching going on.
Yeah.
Saruman. Ugh. Syd was particularly pissed.
Yeah. I was unhappy because, like, in film, usually less is more. Like, if you can... Have you
seen movies recently?
No, I haven't actually. I make a point of not seeing movies. But because of the limitations you had on what you could show before CG came along, you had to really develop storyline or character or things like that to fill in that kind of visual gap. Now we have the ability to show whatever we want, and it seems that storyline and everything else suffers. But in these movies, the Hobbit movies, like, Peter Jackson is so good at putting you in Middle Earth. Mm-hmm. Like, I love the characters. I love the character design. I love the world all around you. It's just, it was just like, this one, the last one, was just like, you like pancakes? Good. Now let's put sugar on top of it. Now let's put this kind of syrup on top of it. You know what? I've got some strawberries and some more syrup on top of it. It's like, I don't need all that sugar, guy. Like,
well,
it's already sweet enough for me.
The problem was, it was one chapter of the book, the 5-army battle, which was basically only explained to Frodo at the end, like when he woke up. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm just concerned with Star Wars. I hope they don't do the same thing, which is just go so over the top and disconnect so much from the material that eventually you're like, I might as well be watching, you know, Avengers or something else. Yeah.
Well, the thing that concerned me, we're still going on about this, is that, you know, in the original Hobbit, like, the book, like, it starts off in a journey you don't know what you're going to get into, but you know it's not going to be easy because you have to go and face a real dragon. And holy cow, nobody does that because it's almost impossible. Yeah. But apparently, for the movies, a dragon's not good enough. Like, we have to throw in this army of white orcs and all this other stuff because, you know, and Thorin going to take his homeland back from a freaking dragon is not enough to drive a movie. Like, oh.
Well, also, I think Jackson was trying to tie it in too tightly with the 3 original films he did.
Oh yeah, of course he was.
Like, Sauron wasn't even mentioned in the real book, but then they tried to make this whole, like, battle scene. I'm like, what?
Best part of the last movie was Saruman going White Wizard Kung Fu, because by that time in the movie, I kind of disconnected from the source. So I was like, show me whatever you want, and Saruman came through.
That wasn't a 91-year-old man.
You're a wizard. You can do that kind of stuff. Okay,
maybe. But yeah,
have we talked about this enough?
Yes, we have.
We have definitely talked about this enough. Not on camera. Like, Ryan and I have been going out at lunch
for a week.
We're like, can you believe that's anyway? Yeah. Leave comments in the comment section. Let us know what you guys thought of the Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings trailer, and
your feelings on Star Wars.
Yeah, your feelings on Star Wars.
Fear, joy.
Yeah, trepidation.
I always remember the best comic strip I saw was some, you know, online troll raging about the new films that are coming. Yeah. But then on opening day, he's wearing his Princess Leia bra thing and his little lightsabers and have these little I love Star Wars. So we'll all be there, haters and lovers alike. We'll give Disney their money.
I did pretty good. I went and saw The Hobbit on the very last day before I came back to work. Like, that was like how many? 2 weeks after
we were begging Sid to watch it because we watched it before.
I held out. All right. Okay. I didn't watch it earlier because I was building Gundam the whole time during my break. So
a lot more rewarding.
I did build a lot of stuff during the break. Like, I built from Reconquista, I built the Grimoire, and from Gundam Build Fires, I built the Power GM cardigan. I want to talk about these in detail, but this episode is going to probably run long after this talking and these other things I want to show. So we're going to save this for next week because we always have to have material.
Yes.
So what I'm going to show now is the Astray Blue Frame D and kind of what it can do, and especially all the blades it's got mounted on itself. So if you give me a second to set this guy up, we'll talk about it in more detail. All right, here's the Astray Blue Frame D. As you can see, well, it's pretty much the Blue Frame second revised. There's differences in the shoulders and the head. You get new parts for that. And you do get what appears to be it's like the Ale Strike backpack. It is assembled the same way, and the frames are actually labeled as Ale Strike RM. But this being a different color, it's suitable for Mr. Blue Frame D. I actually like this color, I think, more than the colors found on the Ale Strike. And it's easy enough just to mount it onto the stand. They do provide you the stand. But what I want to show everybody is all of these blades. Now, you got blades on the head here. Let me take them off. They're called the, what are they called? Sensor Dragoon. You have two Sensor Dragoons. Yes, you have these ones on the shoulder. Let me pop these off. I think these are called the Stealth Dragoons. I'm going to make a pile down here, right? Stealth Dragoons. And you have these ones that come on the striker pack, the Void Striker, whatever. The Beam Cannon Dragoons. Now these ones here, they do open up, like so. Like that. And you do have these ones on the side, which are called the Sword Dragoon. Now, yeah, the whole skirt assembly came off, but that's okay to plug back in. But they do kind of drop in there and stay secure. When you have to take them out, you have to put a little bit of force in there. But it's not a problem just to put this back on if it comes off. You know, this kit is made to be quite flexible, so there's not much, you know, armor in there. This is all the frame. It's easy enough to put it back together. Let's hope I can do this side too. Hold on a second. There you go. Now you also get what they call, I think it's like the gun. This does come out of here, like so. And you can fold this around so you have the handle, and you can put it in like so. You can use it like a sword. If you put it this way, you know, he kind of holds it like a rifle. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's better with the sword. Now, why did I pull all this stuff off? Well, there's a reason for that. If you have all your Dragoons off, like I have here, let me move this guy out of the way for a second. You can assemble what is called the Sipple Sword. Yes, that's what it's called. The Sipple Sword. Now, I'm going to try and go from memory here, but let's see what I can do. This goes back on as per normal, I think. But you take one of the smaller ones from the head and you connect it here.
So you get to build a crazy-ass sword.
Yes, and the handle of that sword, that, you know, it fits in his hand, right? It actually connects to the ones from the skirt, like this. And then you take the ones from the shoulders, and you are meant to put them in the top here. Let's put them in like so. That's the Sipple Sword. The Sipple Sword, but you have one more here, sorry.
You get two?
You make two. So let me pop this on like so. There's one, and I'll quickly put this next one back together again. Sipple Sword. It is kind of cool to see them go together. I wasn't quite taken with all these blades mounted on his shoulders. I do like the color and the sharp angles, but it seemed a little bit too much, kind of like a lot of movies I see recently. But it does really look really cool, I think. Just kind of that line. And then when you're done with that, you can actually get your kit back here and plug them in as you normally would. And because he has a stand, you don't have to worry about him falling over. He can wield these Sipple Swords.
It's pretty cool.
To his heart's content. So here he goes, Sipple Swording it up. The stand, there's not much you can do with the stand, but I think when you have giant swords like this, most of the poses you're going to be doing are him maybe kind of flying into action, swiping and things like that. So there you go. Sipple Sword, Gundam, Astray, Blue Frame, D. With the Vader striker pack. I like it. I do like it. Alright, that does it for the MG. That was the last MG of 2014. Not bad, not bad. Now,
bring on the big boy.
Near the end of 2014. I always have to find ways to lead into talking about the unicorn. But there he is. Here's my unicorn. Now, as I mentioned before, I wanted to kind of find out how well Bandai undergated this, so I painted all the armor pieces on the runner. The backpack and feet armor and some of the torso armor I actually took off and painted properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some closer to this as I talk about assembly and stuff like that, and you can see for yourself just kind of how good a job Bandai did when it came to engineering and molding this kit. Okay, my unicorn, he's kind of naked, right? All you see is the frame and the cycle frame. When I went to put them together, my goal was to see kind of how much I could assemble before I needed to put armor on. Because I didn't want to put the armor on, because I wanted to see the frame. You know, I painted the frame, I wanted to see how well the undergating is. A lot of times, you know, the gates will be, sorry, I'll show you here on the foot. Gates on the feet, you know, they're going to be covered up by armor. You're not going to see them. So undergating is not a necessity there. But when it came to the joints, for example, in the elbows here, let me spin this around here and bend the arm. Here as well, in these areas here, and the same goes for the knee. You know, here's the parts for the knee. These were undergated, and they will be exposed even when the armor is on, because of course that joint has to be free to move. And I found that for those areas that needed that kind of attention, for example in the arms, like I mentioned, the undergating is really, really well done. And you're not actually seeing many of your undergates. You might see a couple in the torso area here, and I do have one backpack part on here that I did paint off of the runner. I wasn't wanting to assemble it, but you needed to kind of hold this connector here, so I couldn't put my backpack on without this blue piece. That's why it's there. Let me drop that back in. So with this done, like so, my next step, of course, will be to start putting the LEDs in, because you have to you either disassemble your unicorn to put in the LEDs, which we showed, or you do it while you assemble it, and the process is pretty much the same. But in this case, without any armor on, it's going to be much easier for me to start, you know, putting the LEDs in. Sure, there's some cycle frame missing when I was doing the upper arms, and down here around the ankle as well. I couldn't put that on because it just won't fit on without the armor parts there. So if you're going to try and do what I did and assemble it without armor, please note that you're not going to be able to put these big ankle parts on. But for the most part, it works and functions the same way it would if you have it all up and ready to go. You know, it's got all these joints it can bend. You can see the knee. You can fully see it now without any armor in there. And I really get to appreciate kind of how Bandai designed it when I'm not using the armor, because I get to see how the frame moves here, like I showed you with the knee. And I can still, should I choose to, like pop off this knee assembly. Hold on a second, that's this part here. You know, I can start popping it off. It's going to be easy enough for me to disassemble this, because it's meant to be disassembled when you're doing LED work, right? So hats off to Bandai for the cool design. And I must say that I was a little leery about putting the head together. I didn't know how much I would be able to put together without any armor. I thought maybe the armor kind of held it all together, but that's not the case. Like, all I need to do now is drop armor pieces onto the sides, and you can even get your unicorn horn in there without putting any armor on. So people out there, you know, who managed to get their hands on the unicorn, you've had it for a number of weeks now. What do you guys think? I want to kind of get a discussion going on what everybody thinks about the latest PG. So there you go. I'm going to now take this guy, and I'm going to start putting the LEDs in. And before I put all that armor back on, I'll probably bring him back onto the show once more with the LEDs in, and we'll kind of light him up without any armor and kind of
I love the LEDs.
Yeah, I love the LEDs. You know, thanks to people out there who pointed out during that episode when I was putting in the LEDs, I had actually put the front skirt ones in backwards.
Yeah, but Syd was doing a speed build as
I
well.
was also like going upside down.
Yeah.
What had happened was they weren't exactly like backwards, but they were kind of out of alignment because there's different ways you could put that little attachment in. So I went back and I fixed it. So thanks for pointing that out, everybody who pointed that out, and I'm going to be sure not to do that again.
I'm interested to hear if anyone has actually modified or modded the LEDs to like flash differently or to do different lighting patterns or anything.
There's you know, I think several people who comment, or I've read that they're lighting technicians and things like that, and you know, they were looking forward to getting their hands on the LED set just to kind of see what they could make it do.
I'd be interested if there's an easy way to do like some craziness.
Some craziness. All right. We'll talk more about the LEDs once I got that set up in here, because we'll bring this guy back on the show. I want to do him in stages and show everybody my progression, because, you know, I built that first one in front of the camera, but then we had to give it to the shop. And then for the LED video, I had to build one specifically for that video, so I built it in 5 hours the night before, which is why everybody's like, Syd, you look really tired. And so, you know, it takes a little bit of work, but I'm taking my time on this version. This one's
Yeah,
my
that's
baby.
Syd's special
This is my
edition.
baby. Now, we're going to talk about kits. We're going to go back to giving away kits.
Yes.
This is the first episode of 2015, episode 163. So if you want to win any of the kits I'm going to be announcing in a second here, you have to leave a comment below
Episode
163
on HobbyLink TV.
on HobbyLink TV on the
Not
blog.
YouTube. HobbyLink TV.
Yes, yes, that's.
You can comment on YouTube. You can say whatever you want on YouTube. But if you want to win, just make sure you comment on the blog
it's easy.
post.
I go through because the post comments are numbered in the blog. It's easy just to random number it up. We've already explained that. So let's talk about the two kits I'm giving away here. I got a couple. Oh, I'm still feeling generous here, Ryan. Look.
Whoa.
I'm giving away an MG. I think this is last year. Maybe
To rain
the year
in
before.
MGs.
Yeah, that's right. This is the AO Strike Gundam. You know, it came with that big launcher stand and stuff like this. Now, I'm not going to show too much here, but I will show you this kit. Let me put this back on. So there is the Strike. Now, whoever gets this, please be aware that this kit was painted and everything by me.
Wow,
it's
a
not
hand done job.
It's not out of the box. You got to do it yourself. This is You got a hand job from Syd. That's what Ryan just said. So
It's a hand done job.
there you go. Okay. So there's that. And unfortunately, you're probably not going to get to play around or build with it unless you wreck the paint that I did. However, there is a surprise in the box that I'm not going to show. So whoever wins this
Surprise in a
gets
box.
a little bonus. That's. I don't know where you're going with these, Ryan.
I don't know either. I'm just free willing it.
It's like a long time no video. He hasn't been in front of the camera for a while. He doesn't know proper decorum. Okay, another Master Grade. This is the Strike Rouge. It's basically the same kit but in different colors and a different backpack. This one, I haven't really done much of anything with, so you will have to, customize it if you like. There's extra parts in there, of course, and you will have to put on all the markings you want to put on there. So I'm giving away 2 Master Grade Strikes in this episode. Trying to clean off that shelf because 2015 looks like it's going to be a bumper year.
2 MGs. So just remember, HobbyLink TV,
HobbyLink TV.
163.
Yep.
Blog post, leave a comment. Stand a good chance of winning.
Yes, well, it's random, so everybody stands the same amount of chance. But
Chance of 1 in 200, maybe.
it depends how many comments we get.
Oh yeah, 2 MGs might have a lot of comments.
Yeah, probably. When we did the Gold Phoenix. Oh,
Yeah,
what a
that
surprise.
was
We had a lot of
nuts.
comments, but okay, so.
Before, I guess we don't have any comments or questions
No,
today.
we're skipping that for now.
We'll get back into that. But just once again, thanks very much for your support in 2014. We are brought to you by HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com.
Yep.
Please support us. Keep us going.
That's right.
And thank you, Syd, for a great 2014.
No, that was fun. 2014 was
Syd
fun.
was a unicorn, insane.
Well, let's talk about
how well Syd
2014. Ryan, you didn't get to build a lot. We've all been very busy. But what was your highlight model-wise from 2014? What would you say? You could say the Stormtrooper didn't come out in 2014.
Well, my highlight was the unicorn, but I didn't build it. But
Yeah.
watching Syd build it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Stormtrooper, it's an amazing kit for what you get.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say it's actually Syd's unicorn.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I actually build anything? I can't remember.
But you have one at your house.
Yeah, I have one at my house.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm going to say the highlight for me was probably the unicorn because it's been so long since I did a PG. The RG Wing was great too. And even kits way back, I think in January we had, of course, that Gold Phoenix. And I think the Jesta also came out in 2014. That was a good build too. So for Master Grade, Turn X, it was a good year Master Grade wise. In the high noon. Oh man, so many highlights. I can't think of it. All right.
It was bowled over.
So 2015, we know the first 2 or 3 months of what's coming, but we've seen a PG Unicorn last year. What surprises do we have in store for us 2015? I don't know, but whatever it is, we're going to be certain to show it to you here on Gunpla TV.
Absolutely.
All right, so thanks for your support and keep watching. We'll see you later.
See you guys.